What's up, y'all? Jackie here from Spice Pole and Aerial Fitness, and I was working on some content for the studio, and where my mind was going was I really want to talk about what you're actually paying for. I just had a discussion with our team recently at our monthly staff meeting, um, talking about pricing. We have experienced 2024 just the same way everybody else has. So when groceries get expensive, when inflation goes up, of course, as a micro business owner, I feel those exact same things. So we've recently had to raise the prices, and because our instructors love our students, and we want to provide a space for them. We want to provide a space for all women to be able to come and enjoy the work that we do at Spice. But one of the things that prevents some of our students from staying with us as members, and then also for new people that are coming into the studio, a barrier to entry is pricing. And I've been in the pole and aerial dance industry in Atlanta for a very long time. Literally, basically grew up as a baby pole dancer in Atlanta. So I'm very familiar. I'm trying to capture my dog. I'm very familiar with the culture. I'm very familiar with the community, and I'm very familiar with the pricing. And one of the things I will say is, I had when it comes to pricing at Spice, I have been told that sometimes the prices are too high, and sometimes I've been told, man, these prices are phenomenal. So I just want to talk to you guys about when I think about pricing, and how we structure the program at Spice. What is the value you're supposed to actually get out of this? And one of the things I always have to tell people is you are not paying for a pole dancing class at Spice. I captured the dog, got him. At Spice, you're not just paying for a pole or aerial dance class. Truthfully, I will tell you, a class like that, like if you're just learning skills, if there's no real interpersonal kind of connection between you and the instructor or anybody else in the class, it's just come in, learn your trick, and go home. Honestly, I tell people this all the time. It's not for me to say what the price of things should be, but you can go on YouTube and buy an apparatus, a pole, lyra, silks. You can buy all of those things, set it up in your house yourself, and you can learn a lot of skills on YouTube for not free. I mean, the content on YouTube is free, but you have to buy your own equipment, and then that just turns into a whole other situation. Now you are literally buying houses to accommodate your 14-foot pole. But anywho, so I say all of that to say, if you're looking at the experience of being in a studio similar to something like the investment that you would have if you put an apparatus in your house, or you go on YouTube, you go on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever, and you see this plethora of free content, and in your mind, you're like, well, why would I pay to go to a studio? Why would I pay premium prices to go? Hold on, guys. Why would I pay premium prices to go to a studio, or a studio like Spice, when I can get it somewhere else for cheaper? Or the thing that I hear a lot is, well, I could just go to LA Fitness. Like, a workout at LA Fitness is $49 a month and it's unlimited. Or a workout at Planet Fitness is $15 a month and that's unlimited. So I always have to remind people, you are not paying for the skill of learning pole and aerial dance. That is a part of the price, but what you're paying for is actually the transformation. And this is such a important piece of Spice, and understanding what we do at Spice and how we are different from other studios. And this is not shade to other studios. This is just differentiating the experience that we try to curate at Spice. And we don't even know what other studios are trying to curate because we're so busy over here doing our thing that we don't even know what other studios are doing. But I can tell you, I know what we're doing is different because it's authentic to who we are and to who we serve. So if there's nobody else out here that looks like me, walks like me, talks like me, then of course something that I create will be authentic to me. So therefore there could never be another, right? So, but one of the things Jackie personally values as the CEO and the founder of Spice, 3 things: self-love, self-confidence, and self-compassion. In my opinion, those 3 things can heal the world. People, women especially, with more of a sense of self-love can change the world. Women with more self-confidence can change the world. Women with more self-compassion can change the world. I believe that to be true. I will talk to anybody about it anytime, anywhere, any place. You let me know, I'm gonna be there. I'm pulling up. I feel so personally about that, and those are my personal values, right? I believe that any setting where women are present, those 3 things should be talked about before anything else. Like, let's make sure we're all on the same page, that we are here, we love ourselves, therefore we will love another. And when I feel like when you learn to love yourself, like the drama, the little catty toxic mess that happens in girl groups that tends to like disrupt and destruct feminine groups that are designed for empowerment and healing and all of those things, those little things, because if the love don't live, if it does not reside within you, it makes it really, really difficult to love people that are different from you. You got to learn how to love your flaws. And a lot of times the things that we don't like in other people are things that we don't like in ourselves. So you got to learn to love those flaws so you can learn to love or understand or respect or give gratitude to the flaws in others. Ooh. This is what we're paying for, right? Like, this is what we're paying for. So at Spice, self-love is not just something we slapped up on the wall. Self-love is something that, for real, you need to practice this in order to be successful here. That's why we have themes of the month. That's why there is a theme of the month. Like this month, the theme of the month is manifest your best life. And I know some people are probably like, what does that have to do with pole dancing? What does manifesting have to do with pole and aerial dance? That's a stretch. What's she talking about? Let me tell you something. One of the greatest ways you can show the universe. I mean, think about my dog, right? My dog, whenever I come home, he is jumping for joy. Jumping. He is so elated and so excited and so happy, and he can't say anything. He can't say a word, but I can see in his body language how happy he is to see me. Now think about if we used our bodies, if when we got a trick or we got a move or we had a bad day and we come to the studio and we get a chance to dance and you just feel how pure joy feels. For nobody to be asking you questions about what are you going to do, when is dinner, when is this, when is that, how come you haven't done this, oh, you're too old, you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too tall, you're too small. You're not worrying about any of that. And I don't think as women we recognize how much weight those little micro emotional attacks, how much that weighs on us. I don't think we understand that until you step into something like Spice, where it's all about today, for 1 hour, you're going to practice self-love. And you start to hear that negative self-talk, like, get amplified. You're literally, like, chilling in class, like, I am about to be so sexy. And then the negative inner critic is like, you? Not you that just gained 50 pounds talking about you about to feel sexy. You're not it. And now you hear that voice, right? Because in most environments, that voice is just on autopilot. But here in Spice, we're saying, turn that off. Turn that off. We literally tell you in class, turn that off. And it doesn't turn off. And now you hear it. And now when you leave the studio, you're still in the energy of the studio, but you still hear that voice. And you start to realize, man, I can't turn that voice off. Now you start to realize when that voice shows up in other spaces and how it prevents you from moving forward. This is what you're paying for. We're not just paying for pole dancing classes. We're not just paying for aerial dance classes. We're not just paying to play around on apparatuses. We're paying for transformation. We're paying for transformation. So I wanted to just come on here real quick and kind of get everyone. If you're interested in spice, not interested in spice, if you're wanting to take classes, understand, and you're looking at the price, and you're like, why would I pay this much to go to this studio? Just understand, we're not trying to just teach you pole and aerial dance tricks. We're trying to get you to like become the best version of yourself. And I'm not just saying that because it sounds cute for the gram. No, for real. Like, we have gone through, our instructors go through 6 months of training. And the first month of training is straight talking about how to be a servant leader, how to plan for success, how to introspect, how to use compassionate communication with your students, how to provide empathy to your students. Because we all know you guys are coming into the studio. You might not, like, everybody's journey, everybody's story is different. But if you're a woman living in a patriarchal society, I know that you got stuff going on. You don't even have to tell me. I already know. So we design our program with those aspects of what it is to be a woman in mind. So when you come in the studio, we talk to you. We let you know that we see you. We hear your name. We're here in service to you. So you're not just paying for the pole tricks. You're not just paying for the aerial tricks. You're not just paying for the space. You're paying for the care. And what you allow that care to do for you is up to you. I will say, for me, when I started submitting to spaces that allowed me to just be myself, right? Because even at Spice, for a very long time, I was afraid to show up 100% as myself. Because I'm the boss. You know, I'm the boss lady. I can't show up weak. I can't show up vulnerable. I can't show up in error, like, oh, I made a mistake. No, I need to know what's going on. I need to be in control, and I need to make sure everybody else respects me. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. So when I finally started to give myself grace and say, Jackie, you are a solopreneur, first generation business owner, never done this before. Yes, you've got experience in the pole and aerial dance industry, but you are on this new administrative side. You're managing a team. You, like, all of these obstacles that I have ahead of me. Instead of saying I can't do it, or instead of letting that negative critic tell me you're not good enough, or allowing other people to tell me that you're not ready, I'm saying, no, I'm going for it. That came from the confidence that I was able to develop at Spice. Like, having people around me that are cheering me on and saying, Jackie, keep going, believe in yourself. You're going to have enough people in your life that are going to tell you no. There's plenty of data and analysis out there that you can talk yourself out of anything you want to do. But what would it be worth to you to have a team of people and energy of women around you that are like, no, you're beautiful, I love you, and I want you to keep going. I want you to keep dancing. I want you to keep working towards being the best version of yourself. My life is different. My life is different because of Spice. I approach business completely different because of Spice. But you've got to be able to submit to it. And if you are struggling with, like, accepting, like, what this workout really is, then I would say continue to do your research, or try pole somewhere else, or aerial somewhere else. And listen, nobody wants more students than me. right? I want all the students, bring all the students to Spice. However, I want you to know that you're not just paying to learn to swing around on a pole. We're not just twirling around in here. Yeah? We're growing here. We're manifesting here. We're making changes, major changes in our lives here. We're experiencing pure joy, and we are looking at what do we, and not only are we looking at it, we are accepting, honoring, and making action towards the lives that we really, really want. We come into Spice, I come into Spice, I feel so much joy and happiness and peace, and I leave the studio and I'm beaming, literally glowing. When I say glowing from the inside out, that's how I feel when I leave the studio. I'm literally like, oh. I go to the gas station afterwards and get some snacks. I'm smiling at everybody. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Blah, 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 blah. I'm just like riding off of this high. And then one thing will happen, right? It might be that night, it might be the next day, it might be 2 days later, but one thing will happen, and like you'll really be feeling this like amazing sense of peace and zen. And then that one thing will happen, and you'll be like, why did this thing disrupt my energy? Like I was just like chilling, and now I'm disrupted. Now I'm like operating at a different frequency, a lower vibrational frequency at that, right? I'm trying to operate at a higher vibration. And so for the whole rest of the week, you're like trying to get back to what it was, but you got disrupted. So then the next time you come back to your class, you leave feeling the same thing. And then that disruption happens again. And you start to look at that disruption like, what was that? Why is that here? Why is that bothering me? So being able to reconnect back to like a peaceful place, and then approaching your week, your day, your month from that perspective, it really allows you to see the things that do not bring you joy. See, a lot of times we can't see the things that don't bring us joy because we're so involved in everything that doesn't bring us joy. Like everything in our life kind of sucks. So we still do it because you got to do it, but it kind of sucks. We kind of don't want to do this, but we're going to do it anyway. What do you have in your life that is just pure joy for you? You ain't got to worry about no kids, no partner, no dinner, no food, no nothing. Like you come in, take your put your shorts, your booty shorts on, put your sexy stripper heels on, put on that cute bra that you've been saving for whatever occasion, never wore it, and come to the studio and freaking dance to Megan Thee Stallion. There's nothing required of you. It's just pure joy. I'm telling you, it's transformational, y'all. So that is what you pay for when you buy a package from Spice. And we want you to honor that, and we want you to take it serious. We want to work with serious students that trust us, that understand the process, and they recognize that this is not me paying for pole dancing classes. This is making an investment in your personal development, your happiness, your peace, and your growth and journey towards being your highest self. I said what I said. Said what I said. So anywho, if you have any questions, guys, y'all know where to reach us. info@spicepolefitness.com, social media, the Spice Pole Fitness, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the things. Join us. Registration's open, spicepolefitness.com. All right then, bye-bye.